Number one is to make people to laugh. The days are hard and stressful. Have you noticed so many Nigerians when you are trying to be funny now, they'll just be looking at you suspiciously. Because to fuel a car now is almost 50,000. So what is funny in it? Nigerians are not finding life funny. Number two is to convince a beautiful lady who is living in her own house but single to marry you. Especially if you are a young unemployed man squatting with three friends and you are living in one room with them in Guarimpa. It's difficult. With this, I want to say that I have always adopted a model, and that model is to give a dummy humorous speech and use the nuggets from there because it will be the best way to do it. But let me start by saying this. Nobody is born funny. Humorous speech should not even be seen as something different. The only difference there is that there is adjective, humorous, before the noun speech, which qualifies it if you do your basic grammar, if you remember. So see it as a speech. Because everything the judges are looking in other speech are there too. So it must be a complete speech. It's not a monologue. You are not Alibaba or basket mouth that will just stand and be talking. The judges will like to look at the beginning, look at the end, look at the middle, look at the points you made. So see it as a speech. Then number two is that you have to today throw away the idea that you are going to write a humorous speech. You are going to give a humorous speech. And by the way, what do people mean that they are writing it? Do you just suddenly write and say, point, here, make them laugh? If they say, ha, 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 continue. It can't work that way. So it has to be a skill you have to acquire. And I tell people the best way to acquire it is by you looking at life from a lighter mood. Start with your co-workers, start with your family members, start with fellow Toastmasters, start being a little less serious. Try to see funny side of everything. For instance, Jagaban here, Toastmaster Olu, you might meet him after greeting him and say, Toastmaster Olu, good evening, say good evening. Say, this your bad hair, is it because of suffering or because of, something like, he will laugh. It's funny. Though, don't go and say to him, I don't know his mood this evening. He may land a blow on you. But that is how it is. So from today, look at it that you will try to interject humors by, I want to even, because I'm giving this with my two boys today, we went to my POS near my house to withdraw money. And the man says 800 naira. I say, why? He said, I said, no, I can't pay it. I will pay 500. He said, why? I said, because I know him. He's about 30. I said, because his name is even Ibrahim. I said, because you want to marry. I know you are not married. He said, how do you know that I'm marrying on Tuesday? I said, okay, see my 500 as a contribution to your marriage. And by the way, who is the unfortunate woman? Everybody busted into laughter, including him. He said, do you mean fortunate? Or I said, no, unfortunate. He said, why? I said, to marry in this season, you are unfortunate. So that is how you can acquire it in everyday thing. Okay? You look at it. So with this, permit me to give a dummy speech so that you will know what it is like for those that have not contested. And I would like our dancing competition champion to come. Toastmaster here. Most of you know him as the First person from our district to go international and compete to the top. But have you known him as a dancer? He's a professional dancer. Yeah, he can even go to American Got Talent or British Got Talent. So bring your seat. He's going to pretend to be the contest here. Okay, he's good at that. Okay. So one thing about that, like I said, after writing this speech, try to have the main points. Because what people do is try to memorize the whole speech. And how do you know the one that will make people fun? But if you know the main points, you now try to say something from the main points that will make people fun. So they've introduced me, the topic of my speech, the day love died. The day love died. Toastmaster, Prince Timothy Ofoegbu. I wonder why you didn't add Prince to my name, but you are forgiven. So I will now say the contest sheet. How many of you have fallen in love when before you are 20? Please, can I see your hands up? For real. Can I see your hands up? And how many of you had breakup before you are 25? Can I see your hands up? Love is a living organism. Love have life. But like anything that have life, love can die. One of the things that people that fall in love never imagine, especially when they are young, is that the love can end. And that was my story when I was 20. Year 2, University of Lagos, studying mass communication. I was so shy that I don't mix with ladies easily. In fact, they were calling me Reverend Father. So with this end of the year party, my friends were saying to me, Mr. T, as they call me, does they make sure you get a babe, make sure, open your eyes. There are new jump by. This you missed out in the October rush. This is December rush. So I was just standing alone, watching all the girls. And until you're in that kind of situation, you notice that people come to parties as couple. But there was this single lady that was just sitting alone. I was scanning her. 10 minutes, nobody spoke to her. Nobody was chatting with her. So I concluded she was alone. But there is something about her. Her beauty was like that of an angel. And when I came closer, she smiled. I noticed there was sunshine in her smile. When I look into her eyes, it's like looking into 1,000 stars. And as I gazed closer, I noticed she had a pointed nose. She must have been putting fertilizer on her nose. So with this, I mustered every courage and said to her, can we dance? And that was the beginning of our relationship. Her name was Joy. And she brought instant joy into my life. You can't believe it, in less than 1 week, we were already discussing about our marriage after our youth service, and we created what Christians called wedding toast. It will be Joy Team, together forever. She told me that the color of the day will be pink. What will I want to wear? I said black. Not knowing that I'm ready to mourn that love. Exactly February 14, the next year, when others are celebrating Valentine, she told her friend to tell me, because there was no phone then, GSM, that she will see me by 8. 8, I've gotten ready, brushed my mouth 3 times. By the way, there was this chemistry about 2 of us that metamorphosed into physics. This fusion of love was nuclear that catapulted us into cloud 9, where we believe that we cannot come down again, just like Romeo and Juliet. I even told her I'm willing to die for her for any reason. All this thing happened less than 3 months. So on Valentine's Day, I was expecting gift like other young men. And she came, she couldn't even come in. I said, come in. I noticed she didn't have any gift. I gave her my own. She said, you can keep it. I said, you are looking dull. He said, well, Tim, to be brief, I want to tell you that this relationship has ended. I want you out of my face and out of my life. And never ever send any of your friends to come and beg me. I said, this is a joke. I thought that today is supposed to be Valentine's Day, not April Fool's Day. Is this a prank? He said, look, I'm not joking. I am done. What did I do? He said, nothing. Just be on your own. Look for another person. I've gotten another person. My world collapsed. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. I couldn't even go to Valentine's party. In fact, my friends started coming as if there was a funeral. Really, there was one. Because the love and every hope I have for her, I didn't know it will die so soon. And this is what happened to people when people break up with them. First thing they experience is shock. Why? What happened? You can't explain. There are some of us people have walked out of us. When people walk out of you, allow them to go. Don't keep on mourning. By my own, I couldn't even go to lecture on Monday. He was saying, there must be reason. There must be reason. And that is pain. You feel in your heart as if something is gone. That is why it's called heartbreak. Palpitation of heart. And then there was this confusion. In confusion, I sent my friends to go and beg her. Any area I consulted later, saying gift, nothing worked. And finally, there is denial. I said, no, it can't happen to me. It can't happen. I know she will come back. Every day, any knock, I thought that joy will come, but she didn't come back. By the upper week, when I saw her in front of Flat Mercedes booth, by one of those terrorists in engineering departments, I knew the reason. And I have to accept my fate. And today I'm asking you to also accept your fate. When someone breaks your heart, when somebody walks out of your life, when your joy turns to sorrow, there are ways to handle it. Number one, you have to accept that it has happened. When a bottle is broken, it's broken. Allow it. Sometimes we keep on looking at the closed door that we don't see new ones opening. Maybe people leave you because they are good. The good is the enemy of best. That someone good left does not mean someone better will not come. Maybe the season of the person in your life is over and the person has to go. Another thing that happened is you have to let go when there is a breakup. When relationship ending, release the person, let the person go. I'm telling you, not even in premarital relationship, but even marriage itself. Last week we heard that a man in my hometown, you won't imagine it, an Nnewi man, jumping down from 2-story building because the person he trained at the school for intention to marry, after graduating at university, said, I won't marry you again. And the man out of shock, it was all over social media and newspaper, plunged from 2-story building. I am now mature enough to know that no love is worth dying for. Can I say to you that I love you is only a confession, not an action? When people confess love, allow that love to turn into sacrifice. And if it's a sacrifice, it won't end. Because the person will do anything to make you happy. But when somebody makes a mere profession of, I love you, like I and Joy did, we thought it will end. And the last thing you have to do is self-love. Some people don't love themselves. I don't know, you won't believe it, that one of the reasons that Joy later told my friend Chukwu she left me is because I'm too tall. This is what other men are praying for. This is their prayer point, to be tall. And I noticed, I said, no wonder, because most of the time I said, don't walk closer to me, walk far, you make me to look so small. She's had PhD in complaining. If I laugh, you are laughing too much. If I'm quiet, you're too quiet, as if this is funeral. If I dance, are you the only man here? Are we here in dancing competition? If I'm eating, why did you eat all the food? Don't allow people to create you in their own image. Remain original. And I let go. Everything we have hoped for, our wedding colors, we even agreed to have 4 children after marriage. And that day there was debate whether it would be a boy first or a girl. She insisted on a girl, I insisted on a boy, and we ended 2 boys, 2 girls. Everything gone. That was 30 years ago. 2 Thursdays ago, I was H-Mediza Gimbia, and a woman said to me, I followed you from the supermarket to out because I know you, but you don't recognize me. Keep on looking at her and say, your face is familiar, but I don't think we have met. He said, I am Joy. I said, who is Joy? And the funniest thing is that she keep on calling herself Joy Timothy JT and changed my name to Timothy Joy TJ. He said TJ and JT. I said, you are Joy? He said, yes. I said, where did you come from? What are you doing here? He said, there was a time I saw you during debate or something in TV, but I said, no. How are you? Oh, how about your kids? She kept quiet. I said, but you are married? He said, I am unfortunate. I've been married 3 times and divorced 3 times. I don't know whether to clap for myself or to feel pity for her. But I was saying, like Hassan Mohammed, I said, look at me now. You think you will end my job. But like any human being, I have empathy. I console her. And I say in my heart, I have forgiven Joy for turning my love into sorrow. But what if Joy didn't go? I wouldn't have been happily married for now for 24 years. So life can come from opposites. Something that is not meant for you have to go for something that is meant for you to stay. The contest. Thank you. So with this now, you notice that this is a speech. This is a speech. Huh? Are you a shy person? Okay, you can go. Can we give us? Now, please, these are what the judges will be looking. 5 or 6 hidden judges will be on the day of competition. Number 1, they want to look at the speech development. Look at how I began. In Toastmasters, we are good storytellers, especially when you use your own self. If you can't use yourself, you can use your father, you can use your friend, you can use your mother, you can use your ex. You can even use Buhari based on what you experienced during his 80 years. Anybody can use, anything can be used. So they are looking at this speech development, how I started, how I ended, was there sequences, was it flowing? And then they will look at the effectiveness. How effective was the speech, especially on the audience? They will look at the value. I spoke on broken relationship, which I think has value. One way or the other, whether married or unmarried, you need this kind of lessons from what I say, especially how to handle breakup. Okay? So they look at the value. They will also look at the audience response. Remember, it's a humorous speech. If you talk and talk, nobody laugh, they are looking at you. And you can't tell them, make una laugh, now, make una laugh. Make it not decide, no, they're funny. So they will look at the audience response. They will look at physical. You know, someone like me to be physical, I would have added I wore red because I'm still in love. It's a prop. I can use even cloth and wear it. So don't think the day I went to the other club to talk about finance and other things, I have to make sure I came with props, you know, things like a toothpaste that have finished to use to talk about hardship. Came with soap that was a little to talk about how people became economical in the time of hardship. So they look at all this. And most importantly, they look at your voice modulation, vocal variety, and correctness is the last one. Correctness is like fact checking. You're not just going to say anything you like. Suddenly say Nigeria is spending 700 billion because it's a humorous speech. Somebody will say it's not true. We are going only 77 trillion. Okay? So that is how it works. And then look at some of the things that will help you. Number one, use an opening, use a topic that will make the audience to sit up from day one, including the judges. Only announcing the day love died is a good way to start. It's a good topic. So, but there are other topics I put down here. Imagine Surya, our president, talking and say the topic she's speaking on is why men gossip. You know that even a man that wants to go out will come back out of curiosity to know why. And then Toastmaster Olu will speak on how I failed before succeeding in Abuja. Every Abuja resident will like to listen. It makes a lot of sense for them. Okay, and they say they are calling Toastmaster Kashi. She says she's speaking on why women beat their husbands. All men, even if they answer phone, they'll just be saying, let us know why some women will beat their husbands. So things like that. You make it to be funny, you make it to be creative. And then number two, consider the audience. Toastmasters, as I've observed, are middle class and upper class. No need of a club answering urban professionals. All of us are urban professionals, so to say. So be careful of what you say. Do you understand? They're educated, they're intelligent. You just don't manipulate them or say anything you like. Your speech must be informative and objective. That is, what are they taking home? What are they going to take home out of your speech? There is what they call decency line. It is agreed not only in humorous speech, but in all speeches, there are lines you cannot cross. Okay, maybe trying to use sexual prone words. Some audience will find it offensive, even if it's